citizenship, man. Because if you don't, then they're just preyed upon by people that will take advantage of the fact that they're undocumented and not pay them what they're legally supposed to pay them, and not give them benefits if they're legally supposed to have benefits, and they can't say anything because they're worried that immigration is going to get called on them. So these people are in this constant state of anxiety, and then they hear about the ICE raids, like at Home Depot. Like, what the
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has been linked with the Sinaloa cartel and is now being expedited from removal from the United States. This is insane.
Joe Rogan reveals the shocking truth behind Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s arrest and possible deportation from the U.S. He emphasizes that authorities must act responsibly by examining the charges thoroughly before making any move. According to Rogan, not every immigrant deserves to be treated like a criminal, and rushing such decisions could lead to injustice. He urges fairness and proper investigation of Chavez Jr.'s case before drawing any conclusions or taking drastic action.
Why? Like, I think, as crazy as it sounds, the only way to do this and look like you have a heart is evaluate people on a case-by-case basis. Like, there's good people. There's good people.
It's also so complicated because it goes back for so long, and the thing now is that there's two very polarizing opinions of what America even is or represents or what job it's supposed to serve to the world. So, like, you know, in some, yeah, sure, there, like, for any country to exist, there has to be something there that identifies what it is as a country, and it just seems like without citizenship or without some definitive thing of who's a citizen or not, it's like, then it's not even a country.
Joe Rogan has spoken out about how the U.S. is making pointless arrests targeting immigrants unfairly. He says that when authorities see a suspicious immigrant, they pile on charges and label the person a gangster, even if they've done nothing wrong. Rogan highlights that many of these individuals are simply living their lives in the U.S. legally with a green card, but still face unnecessary accusations and harsh treatment without proper cause.
Like, to support just rounding people up and just assuming they're all gang members. I'm not saying they're doing that, but this is the worst case scenario, right?
Yeah.
They get a bunch of people in a room, they rope them all in, and one guy's just someone's cousin picking someone up to give him a ride home. That's possible.
And now you're back on the one innocent person now you're right back.
And what if that dude is not doing anything wrong and he's got some stupid tattoos, and they decide that this guy's a gang member, and now you're in a prison in El Salvador, and you're not even from El Salvador. And now, you know, you were just a hairdresser, or you were a tattoo artist,
family man,
you are.
yeah.
You came over here, and maybe you got a green card, and maybe you don't. Maybe you were just given asylum, because a lot of people from Venezuela were given asylum in America.
Yeah.
And then you get shipped to El Salvador, where you're not even from El Salvador. So that the fact that exists scares the shit out of me.
The shocking arrest of Julio Chavez Jr. has caused widespread confusion and concern among boxing fans, especially in Mexico. Many supporters find it difficult to believe that a figure as prominent as Julio Jr. could be involved in the serious accusations now surfacing. His public appearances, including participation in major boxing events, have left fans questioning how someone allegedly linked to crime could have remained under the radar for so long. There's growing suspicion about the timing and legitimacy of these charges, as his presence on international stages suggested no such legal cloud was hanging over him. The abrupt manner in which these accusations have emerged has deepened doubts about the real motives behind his arrest.
Noticia de última hora, el gobierno de Estados Unidos acaba de anunciar que han detenido al boxeador mexicano Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Sí, mi gente, esto tan solo unos pocos días luego de que tuvo una pelea muy grande contra Jake Paul en Los Ángeles. Así es, mi gente, y si no me creen, solo vean el comunicado que acaba de publicar el Departamento de Seguridad Nacional. El 2 de julio, ICE arrestó al boxeador mexicano y alien ilegal criminal Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Ahora él está siendo procesado para ser removido expeditamente de los Estados Unidos. Este asociado del cartel de Sinaloa tiene una orden activa de arresto en México y está siendo buscado por estar involucrado en el crimen organizado, el tráfico de armas de fuego y explosivos. Bajo el presidente Donald Trump, nadie está por encima de la ley, incluyendo atletas famosos a nivel mundial. Y pues la verdad que esto es una locura total que no me esperaba para nada, pero bueno, demuestra cómo está la situación actual en Estados Unidos. Eso dicho, déjenme saber qué opinan, difundan para que todos sepan, y como siempre, recuerden que cualquier cosa, yo los mantendré informados.
Julio Jr.'s recent legal troubles came to light shortly after his high-profile fight against Jake Paul. About that drew massive attention. This sequence of events has raised eyebrows, with critics wondering whether the legal action was coincidentally timed or deliberately delayed until after the fight. The fact that legal authorities moved so quickly after the event has fueled theories that they were waiting for the right moment to act, perhaps to avoid interfering with a lucrative sporting event. The sudden shift from sports headlines to legal drama has left both fans and analysts trying to piece together what went on behind the scenes.
Just days after losing to Jake Paul, boxer Julio Chavez Jr. has been arrested by ICE and may be deported. The allegations include trafficking firearms, ammo, and explosives. Apparently, a cartel affiliate has an arrest warrant for him back in Mexico. This is from a statement of the Department of Homeland Security. We've seen a lot of ICE activity around the sports world recently, including the Dodgers claiming they denied them entry, including a now deleted Facebook post that ICE would be at the FIFA Club World Cup in Miami. Pretty insane story. Let me know what you guys think and follow me for more. I'll be sure to provide you guys updates.
The scrutiny over Julio Jr.'s personal life intensified because of his ex-wife's past associations. Frida Muñoz's previous marriage to the son of a notorious cartel leader cast a long shadow over Julio Jr.'s attempts to establish permanent residency in the United States. Immigration authorities reportedly flagged his application, not solely because of his own actions, but because of the indirect connections to organized crime that such relationships suggested. Although there is no public evidence proving Julio Jr. himself participated in cartel activities, the association alone was enough to trigger red flags in a legal system. Hyper-alert to security concerns involving high-profile figures with ties to criminal families.
Again, I knew that Chavez was having issues with the law in the past and, had his drug issues. I didn't know he just got arrested on a weapons charge the year before, and I definitely didn't know that he was in some way linked to the Sinaloa cartel. But the Zone announced it on the broadcast. I don't know if that's something like it inadvertently triggered the Department of Homeland Security to be like, oh, he's in the country, we need to go get him. Or just the fight itself being in America was like part of that. But I'm pretty sure Chavez was already living in America. I don't know. But this is just insane to think that this boxing match potentially was a massive part of the reason he has now been, detained and is going to be removed from the United States on, active weapons charge. So we keep reading. In August 2023, he entered the country legally with a B2 tourist visa that was valid until February 2024. Chavez is also believed to be an affiliate of the Sinaloa cartel, a designated foreign terrorist organization. ICE arrested Chavez in Studio City, California on July 2nd. So yeah, Chavez, I guess, is living in LA. So they arrest him, and it says on April 2nd, 2024, Chavez filed application for lawful permanent resident status. Chavez's application was based on his marriage to a U.S. citizen who is connected to the Sinaloa cartel through a prior relationship with the now deceased son of the infamous cartel leader, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Chavez Jr. is married to the former wife of El Chapo's son. Oh, no, bro. Oh, God, dude. Again, I just keep thinking maybe they made a mistake. Maybe Chavez, is being mistaken for somebody else, or it's not that. I don't know how serious this is, but he has a weapons charge, and he's married. Not to say this is connected, but the lady is a U.S. citizen, so she's also the former wife of the son of the most famous cartel leader ever.
The arrest of Julio Jr. by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, took place in dramatic fashion in Studio City, California. The involvement of ICC signaled that the matter extended beyond routine immigration issues. It was portrayed as a response to national security concerns stemming from the network of individuals linked even indirectly to Julio Jr.'s personal circle.
In the world, I did not know any of this leading into this right now, this moment. This is crazy. On December 17th, a U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services made a referral to ICE that Chavez is an egregious public safety threat. However, in a DHS law enforcement system under Biden administration indicated Chavez was not an immigration enforcement priority. Then, on January 4th, 2025, the Biden administration allowed Chavez to re-enter the country and paroled him into the country at the San Isidro port of entry. Following multiple fraudulent statements on his application to become a lawful permanent resident, he was determined to be in the country illegally and removable on June 27th, 2025. This is a day before his fight. So hold on. They were tracking Chavez Jr., I guess, after multiple fraudulent statements on an application for permanent lawful residentship.
The impact of these events on Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. has been profound. As one of the most respected figures in boxing history, Chavez has built a reputation as a symbol of Mexican pride and sporting excellence. the legal troubles facing his son have inevitably cast a shadow over his legacy. Fans and commentators alike have expressed sympathy for the elder Chavez, recognizing that the actions or alleged associations of family members can tarnish even the most celebrated reputations. His years of dedication to the sport and his positive influence in the boxing community have been clouded by the scandal engulfing his son.
Boxing icon Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has shared a statement in Spanish on his social media. I'm going to translate it for you to English and share with you what he said in Spanish. Obviously, you heard the news, breaking news. This really shocked me because I know Julio. I've known him for many, many years. He's one of my favorite fighters in boxing because he's a tremendous human being. None of these accusations make sense to me. They say that he's part of a Sinaloa cartel, that he's involved with importing weapons and ammunitions and all kinds of stuff that's so far removed from him, it's not even funny. So here's the statement from Chavez Sr. In essence, I'm going to translate this, but he says the family wants to respond to the statements that have been made by U.S. officials, and they say, hey, we are deeply dismayed. The family is caught off guard by this situation, but it says difficult times. We are totally and have unconditional support for Julio. We fully trust he is innocent, and I believe that as well. They say they're going to wait till the justice system in both Mexico and U.S. do their process. They do believe Julio will come out innocent of all this, and they want people not to jump to conclusions. They also say Julio, above all, is a son, a father, a human being who has faced multiple challenges in his personal and professional life. As a family, they say, Julio says, we respectfully ask the media to wait for the process to unfold to see where it goes.
In response to the growing media frenzy, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. issued a heartfelt statement defending his son and appealing for fairness. He emphasized the importance of not rushing to conclusions before all facts are presented. His words were a reminder of the human side of this unfolding drama, pointing out that behind the headlines is a man who, like everyone else, deserves his day in court. The elder Chavez's plea for respect for due process resonated widely as it echoed the concerns of many who believe the legal system should not be swayed by public opinion or sensationalism.
Here. They said they're not going to do any further statements at this time. They appreciate is to allow the authorities to complete their investigation and do their work. This statement ends. I'm going to try to read to you the following again. It's translation from Spanish to English. We ask for a prompt resolution that clarify the facts in favor of Julio, and we reiterate our call for procedure, respect, and objectivity. Sincerely, the Chavez family. So Julio is asking the media to give him respect. At this time, they don't want to comment until this situation unfolds, until the authorities complete their investigation. They're shocked, they're in dismay, but they're out supporting their son, who's had challenges in both his personal and professional life.
Eli Seekbach, a familiar name in boxing journalism, has publicly questioned the decision to detain Julio Jr., drawing from his long experience covering the sport and his personal interactions with Julio Jr. Seekbach argued that the fighter's character does not match the profile of a criminal. His statements highlighted the divisions within the boxing world, where some believe Julio Jr. is being unfairly targeted due to his family name and associations rather than solid evidence of wrongdoing. SEC comments have added another dimension to the debate as media figures weigh in on what they see as possible overreach by authorities.
This is all a big shock, not anything that anyone expected.
Boxing reporter Eli Seekbach, who runs ES News, has been friends with Chavez Jr. for 15 years.
Unbelievable, unreal. I got to putting chains on him like he's a...
He even submitted a personal impact statement to help support Chavez's application for a specialized visa.
He's a great dad. He loves his wife. He loves his kids. He's the type of person that if I do a video about a coach that his kid has cancer, he will call me at 6 a.m. Hey, my lawyer is going to send you money for the kid. We're going to take care of the expense.
But Homeland Security tells a very different story. Officials say Chavez Jr. is wanted in Mexico on serious charges linked to organized crime, accused of trafficking firearms, ammunition, and explosives. They also allege he has ties to the Sinaloa cartel.
There's always more to the story. The headline doesn't always reflect the content.
They're saying he's got a connection to the cartel.
I think they're making a mistake here.
Skeptics have pointed out what they see as inconsistencies in the handling of Julio Jr.'s case. If documentation issues were truly at the heart of the matter, they argue, why was he allowed to take part in a major international boxing event without intervention? The fact that legal action came only after the bout fuels theories that other forces or motives may be at play. Some have even drawn parallels between this case and other recent high-profile legal incidents, suggesting a pattern of selective...
Crazy news in boxing. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who just fought Jake Paul, is now arrested and also got deported. This is from Homeland Security. The account, it has the gray check mark, okay? The post says, on July 2nd, ICE arrested Mexican boxer and criminal illegal alien Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He's now being processed for expedited removal from the U.S., and this Sinaloa cartel affiliate has an active arrest warrant in Mexico for his involvement in organized crime and trafficking firearms, ammunition, and explosives. Under President Trump, no one is above the law, including world-famous athletes. Our message to any cartel affiliates in the U.S. is clear. We will find you and you will face the consequences. The days of unchecked cartel violence are over. Hear me out. Free Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Just for, like, you know, the love of the game, the boxers, man. Okay, like, look, if you're gonna do this, there's no way that, like, Diddy gets freed, right? Just gets away with everything, right? You can be like, oh, but you got charged for this and that. He's not gonna face no time. He's gonna get, like, $250,000 fines or something, right? They might take him to civil court. But he gets to be free. He does not. Come on. Also, if this was the case, why not arrest him at the event? They literally said, let's watch this fight first, and if he wins, he gets to go free. They literally, like, Trump was like, that was such a bad performance. You're arrested, bro. I'm finding you right now. That's absolutely insane. I thought this would be, like, covered some way, somehow, like, some news media or someone would call this out, like, you know, he's actually doesn't have papers. You know, like, actually, he's got, I don't know about the crime and stuff. This is, like, my first time experience, like, knowing about Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I know that, like, he fought Canelo, and it was, like, really bad. I want to go back and watch his fights because I looked through his record. I saw the run he went on and everything else I know of his dad and his work. But this is, like, insane. Also, I know that he got out of rehab just recently. Man, Jake Paul beat a cartel thug, bro. No, I hate this timeline, this Jake Paul timeline. Just go ahead and get your, you know, boxing match out of the way and get slammed, okay? Please. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Do you think he's innocent or guilty? And make sure to like and follow for more. I'm on the road to 10K.
The timing of Julio Jr.'s fight with Jake Paul has also become a topic of debate. Observers are now speculating whether the match itself was part of a larger plan or served as a prelude to the legal actions that followed. Some believe that the event may have been used as a means to keep Julio Jr. in the public eye, while others think the match provided a convenient opportunity to set the stage for his arrest. The official statement from Homeland Security marked a turning point in the narrative. By citing alleged connections to organized crime and involvement in illegal activities, the case against Julio Jr. took on far greater gravity. No longer framed as a matter of visa paperwork or documentation irregularities, the allegations now pointed to serious offenses with international implications.
We have breaking news right now. ICE has detained a world-famous boxer, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., just days after his fight with Jake Paul in the United States of America. This is significant news. According to ESPN, he was detained for entering the United States illegally and will allegedly be deported to Mexico, where he faces organized crime charges, according to the Department of Homeland Security. He just finished fighting a match against Jake Paul in Anaheim, California, and this arrest comes days after that. Official says he has an active arrest warrant in Mexico for alleged involvement in organized crime and trafficking firearms. He is a famous boxer, one of the most famous boxers in the entire world. He was here for a massive fight with Jake Paul. This was one that was watched by millions of people across the country, and well, now he has been detained by ICE and is going to be sent back to Mexico. Significant news right now. Spread the word. I'll have a full breakdown of this on my Substack at the link in my bio, so subscribe for free. And as always, follow along for all the news you need to know about.
What started as a question of immigration status has spiraled into a complex web of accusations and investigations. Reports suggest that Julio Jr.'s behavior during his time in the U.S. may have raised additional red flags for authorities. Questions have been raised about how he was permitted to fight despite alleged visa problems and whether regulatory bodies failed in their duties. Critics argue that this case exposes flaws in how sporting authorities coordinate with law enforcement, as well as how high-profile athletes sometimes operate in legal gray areas. The ongoing scrutiny ensures that Julio Jr.'s case will remain a subject of debate and analysis for some time to come.
We have some news. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., the boxer who just fought Jake Paul, has been arrested by U.S. immigration agents and faces deportation to Mexico. ICE took Chavez Jr. into custody on July 2nd in Studio City, just 4 days after his match with Paul. Officials say he overstayed his visa and is wanted in Mexico for organized crime, including trafficking weapons and ammunition. According to the Department of Homeland Security, Chavez is connected to the Sinaloa cartel and has an active arrest warrant in Mexico. He had entered the United States in August 2023, and his tourist visa expired in February. Despite this, he fought in a major boxing event last week against Jake Paul. The Trump administration immigration authorities are moving quickly to deport him under an expedited removal process. This case highlights the administration's intensified immigration enforcement even against high-profile figures, and spotlights Chavez Jr.'s fall from grace in the boxing world. I will keep you updated on this. I'm Jared Sisser. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for all breaking news, updates, full stories, and deep dives.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned. Until next.